Hi, Alan. I'm going to do your 15-minute spiritual healing now. So I'm going to go as guided by spirit, okay? And how to help you. Because you're really ready to open your heart to positive energy, open your mind. You're really ready to move on to bigger and better things with your life. And so I'm just going to go as guided by spirit, okay? It's going to be really good. Let's see. There's an angel here. There is a doorway. It's kind of got a peaked and it's almost rounded at the top, but it kind of comes to a peak and then rounds downward. It's kind of an ornate door. They're opening it. We're walking through the doorway. Everything is white on this side. It's almost got a church kind of effect to it. I can hear organ music. There's a red sort of carpet here. Everything feels bigger than me. It is definitely a church, and it's got quite a beautiful wooden decoration, wood carved. It's all wood everywhere, and the ceiling just goes up really, really high, so I feel so small in here. I feel really small. I feel really small in comparison to this very big place. It's a sensation of insignificance. They asked me, where is the significance in this place? Is it in the design? Is it in the structure? Is that it is so big, bigger than you are? Is it that it is God that is bigger? They're asking me, what does this mean? Why do you feel insignificant? Aren't you just as important as the next human being who walks through this door and experiences this very large place? There's really an opening for God to enter into the heart, not in a religious way, but in just a pure, spiritually connected way. And it's very pure, genuine, loving. It's really, it kind of reminds me of times in my life where I really needed more of a deeper connection with something spiritual, and just out of the necessity to just have that, I've entered into churches on completely days where the church is not in session, just to be in what was a setting that felt more connected. It wasn't necessarily that it was a church or religion or whatever. It was just house of God was what I had considered it, and I was entering in the house of God and allowing God to enter into my heart and heal me. And it's always been really moving. I've done this a couple times in my life, entered into a church that was completely empty for this specific purpose. And in those moments in my life, I felt very insignificant. I felt very challenged and unsure and not knowing my direction and really reaching out to something to help me. So I am inspiring, I'm encouraging you to sit down in one of these very long pews or benches. And it's not about religion or anything of that kind. It's just about being in the house of God. It could look like heaven, it could look like a nature scene, but in this case, it's manifesting as a massive, beautifully ornate, wooden carved church. I am choosing to sit down and relaxing my body. All right. One version is you as a human being. One version is like a skeleton, like a broken skeleton being pulled out of your body. A large hand pulling it out, an energy reflection of you being removed. Can you allow yourself to let go of this side of your reflection? They say, yes, you can. That's why you're here, isn't it? That's why you're opening up now, because you are ready to let go. You don't need this old bag of bones. You don't need this old broken skeleton. You don't need it anymore. You acknowledge that it is not who and what you are, and you let go. The hard part about letting go is you're letting go of something that you've become used to. It's the only way you've known. It's an energy that you're you're very attached to, connect with, you understand it, you translate it, it makes sense to you, but you know you need to let go of it, and it's hard. It's hard to let go of it. It's all you've ever known in that sense. But at the same time, you know you're ready. And so we're removing it for you. Do you want me to rip it off like a band-aid, or do you want me to pull it off slowly? That's what this is like. They're showing me that. They're actually showing me an image of me ripping it out of you, like pulling off a band-aid really fast to help get it over with really quickly. You know, it might hurt. It'd be like, ah! Oh, thank God that thing's off of there. Ripped all my hair off, but it's gone. Or we could do it, just chisel away, you know, and just kind of ease the band-aid off, because maybe that won't hurt as bad. So it's something to think about, right? You're saying, just however it must be released, I'm ready to release it. You're actually encouraging it to, you're ready to let it go. So there is no sensation of pain in being involved. When you let go of your fear of the pain, or the fear itself of what the outcome is, it becomes extremely easy. So now there is no analysis of how do we remove the band-aid. There's only just freely letting go, and it's just being pulled out very easily. It's not sort of getting stuck in the process. It's just, we're just easing it out very easily. A hand, God's hand, is basically God's hand going into your head and then pulling out a suit of skeleton bones and then it's just going away like that. So it's like you're really, you feel like a bigger man. You feel better. You feel a lot better. I mean, you are saying right now that it was time. It's been time. There's something else they're trying to show me. They're a little weasel. It's an energy reflection. It's some sort of entity. He's also made out of bones. He's got a sword. He's got a shield. He's got wings that are made out of bones as well. They hear Devil's Army. I feel no intimidation by it at all. Because I am choosing to let go of my association with, what do you call that? Is it, I mean, a skeleton person? Is that a dead person that is alive still? A lot of people who work in the corporate world feel like a dead person that's alive, you know? Like, we all feel like zombies. We have to go to our job. We have to do our, you know, it's something extremely unfulfilling, but what keeps us satisfied is the reality that we get a paycheck in order to pay our bills and eat and know that our kids have clothes to wear. That's the sole purpose of this routine, right? And so I'm not intimidated by the skeleton army because I am alive. And you are trying to make me think I should be intimidated by you. I'm not. I mean, basically, I see you in the church, okay? You just had this removed. You're actually like, in a way, like, oh my gosh, it was really that easy, huh? I'm so glad I came in here. I felt miserable when I walked through that door. I sat down, I did this thing, and I actually feel seriously awesome. So we have this scene, and then we have this other scene where you're standing in front of this sort of much taller than you skeleton, big massive bone wings, and then a sword and shield. But there's absolutely no intimidation. There is no sensation of you might as well be invisible. I don't care. What is this? You're going to hurt me with this? No, you're not. I choose whether or not I want to feel intimidated, or I want to feel weak, or I want to feel, burdened or taken down or destroyed or ruined. I get to choose that. You don't choose that for me. I actually choose that for myself. And right now I am choosing to let go of those feelings. I just handed them to God. Didn't you see? I was in the pew. I just handed all of that to God. I handed my old skeletal reflection over to God, and I have no relationship with you or anything associated with that. that God is really wanting you to grow, to see yourself. So, how big is God? I mean, how big is the church? The church is trying to resemble God's might or mighty God, or God being bigger than you. You know what I mean? That's fine because God is a powerful source of energy. God is a part of you. He's a part of every single one of us, part of all of creation, right? And so it feels so amazing to connect with that infinite energy and to have it build you up, have it really fill your reflection and help you grow so you feel mighty and powerful in that way as well, because you too are a part of God as well. We all are a part of God. And so this is a big deal. We're trying to grow you into the size of a church. And the church is like, I can't even figure out where the ceiling is. It just goes up so high, I can't even see that high. It's just a big place, right? I'm just choosing patience right now. So, now the skeletal man has taken his sword and slashed my cheek. And again, I'm like, you know what? I'm not paying attention to you. We've already gone over this. You are part of my past. This is sort of a reflection of when you make choices to grow yourself, expand yourself, there are always sort of ripples or echoing reflections of trying to I don't know how to describe it. Basically test you to, you make a decision and now you're going to be tested to see how strong you are in the decision that you actually made. And so it seems to me like there might be a couple of rounds here of just seeing how sure you are, how strong you are, how confident you are. And then don't back down on what you choose, okay? No matter what, you know and trust in your heart that this is all happening for a reason. You're feeling all of this for a reason. And it's speaking to you in this way because you know it is time. It is the recurring thought that many of us just live with for years and years and years of our life, saying, I'm not happy in my job. Well, I'll just work it until I retire, but or this relationship isn't working out. Well, I'm just going to stay with it, and that's just as far as it ever goes. And nothing ever changes, and you just have a repetitive thought on your mind. So when you're able to conquer that repetitive thought and say, you know what, I acknowledge it and I'm not going to live with it anymore. I'm actually going to expand beyond it and be something more than this. Now you kind of enter into the vulnerability zone because you are letting go of the old and entering into an experience of something entirely new. And how do you build yourself with that? How do you define yourself if you are not who you were before? Now you're somebody new. And so when you make that decision, you need to feel solid with it, okay? Because this is telling me that it's going to keep trying to stare you in the face and even try to push you into going back to the way you were before. So don't just stand your ground, okay? And you don't even have to feel angry, feel frustrated, feel stressed out, feel fearful. You just say, you know what, God's got me. And I know exactly why I chose it, and there's nothing you can do to hurt me. There's nothing you can do to inspire me to return. So in this moment, after the slash has taken place, I'm examining your response to it, okay? You are touching your cheek, you're feeling that it actually cut you. It actually created blood, and you're looking at your hand. You are examining what this means to you. You're examining how this feels. You are actually feeling, you take comfort in taking the role of letting somebody bigger than you. You'd rather be the mouse than be the lion. You'd rather take on the role of being what is the easiest way out, and I'll just do that. The reality is, if you take the easy way out, what are you going to become? You're just going to let this guy be in control of you, and now you just get to be a puppet in his mind world, his own ego world, and it has nothing to do with you taking your power back. So you look at this wound, this conflict, you acknowledge that it is there, and then you decide, is this the way you want to be treated? Is this the way you deserve to be treated? No, you don't deserve to be treated this way. That's abuse, or that is putting you down, that is making you feel that life is easier when you just choose to be the mouse. This is not correct, okay? So I'm just examining this a little bit more. This is a moment for you to choose. You are taking the time to look up at this person who did it to you. You are still standing there and you are not moving. You aren't saying anything. You are acknowledging what was just done. You are just standing here. That alone is saying no. You don't have to say anything. You aren't choosing to move back to the position, being behind him or working for him or a part of his army or whatever. You are just saying no. Now he's vanishing. All of the skeletal energy is vanishing. You're putting your head down and you're crying. You still have a scar from this. And now you're looking up in the church and you're looking up at the top, the peak that you can't even see. You're looking into the heavens, right? And you're showing God this blood and you're saying, why is this happening to me? That's what you're saying. God gives you a sword and a shield and said, God says, I make you stronger. It's symbolic, right? What made the skeleton man strong? He had a sword and a shield. He's made out of bones. You can just kick the pelvis and then they'll just all come across. He's not so very sturdy. So he stands behind this shield and this sword, but here you are. You have no weapons to defend you. You feel hurt or cut by this. And now it's a gesture. And that's how it means, what it means to me. You stand up. He is showing that these are turning into energy and the energy reflection. So sword and shield are just turning into particles of energy. And the particles of energy are a gift to help you know that you're protected. That your dreams are protected. God does not want you to feel sad at all. He wants you to feel proud of yourself. Did you see what you just did there? You just stood in front of that giant skeletal man. He just cut you in the face. And then you just remained standing there. And by standing there, you said no. And then did you see what happened? He just evaporated. And now you're in the church feeling sad. You should feel so happy. Look at you. Do you see what you just did? You just did it. You just did it. And it was as easy as just choosing to stand your ground and stand firm with what you believe in. If you need me to be there with you, I always am there with you. If you feel vulnerable sometimes, emotional, you can't figure out that it's a moment to celebrate and you feel it is a moment still of failure. You feel grief in your heart. Just come talk to me. Let me enter into your reflection and heal you. Help you to see the true reality is this. I mean, I'm telling you, the energy of this exchange is really a big deal. I mean, it's pretty intense. It's really intense in my heart. It's really beautiful to feel it. I'm just seeing you in this pew. I'm waiting for you to feel stronger and ready. You just want to relax in here. You love the energy. You love the spiritual connection. You love how it makes you feel. You like this heavenly energy. You just want to feel more of it, more and more embraced by it. You feel like you could sit here for 3 hours and just absorb all of this heavenly energy and just find yourself feeling like the bells are ringing and you just feel really happy. It's really beautiful. So I am allowing you to remain there where you can be at peace, where you can feel connected to the spirit realm, where you can experience that energy healing and strengthening. And they're pulling me out of the church back through the doors that are closing now. And now I'm just here. There's an angel guarding the doorway. and protecting this interaction that you have with God in the spirit realm, this holy interaction that is helping to heal you and build you up and help you feel stronger inside. So that is all that I can share, Alan. Thank you very much for this experience. I'm wishing you all the best in your life, okay? And for those of you watching, if you're interested in spiritual healing, please visit my website at abbynormalswisdomquest.com. Thank you for watching.